AI will displace 85 million jobs by 2025, but it will also create 97 million new ones. Which side of that equation will you be on? Maybe you feel one step behind. Here's the truth. You're fighting the wrong battle. Most people compete harder using the same old tools. Sun Tzu called that the worst strategy besieging a walled city. The winners refuse to fight at all. Instead, they use AI to become the only one doing what they do. Here's how, in 3 steps. First, ask AI to map your skills into a blue ocean with 0 competition. Second, audit your choices this week. Are you creating or just competing? Third, run one small experiment in that space today. 1 post, 1 email, 1 test. 6 months from now, say this: I don't compete. I've made it irrelevant. Want your unfair advantage? Watch the full video and subscribe. Here's a number that should terrify and inspire you at the same time. According to the World Economic Forum's 2024 Future of Jobs report, AI will displace 85 million jobs globally by 2025. But here's the part they don't emphasize. It will also create 97 million new ones. The question is, which side of that equation will you be on? Right now, you might be feeling that uncomfortable mix of fear and FOMO. Maybe you're thinking, everyone's talking about AI, but I don't know where I fit in. I'm working harder than ever, but it feels like I'm always one step behind. What if my job gets automated while I'm still figuring this out? If any of that resonates, you're not alone. And you're definitely not doomed. Because today, we're diving into Chapter 3 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, Attack by Stratagem. And I'm going to show you how a 2,500-year-old military strategy is actually the perfect blueprint for not just surviving, but dominating in the AI era. Here's the counterintuitive truth we're going to explore. The people who win in the AI age aren't the ones who fight AI the hardest. They're the ones who refuse to fight at all. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 copy-paste AI prompts that will identify your unfair advantage, a clear understanding of why most people are fighting the wrong battle, a 3-step action plan you can start implementing today. So if you've ever felt like you're running a race where the finish line keeps moving, this one's for you. If I had to distill Chapter 3 of The Art of War into one sentence for the AI era, it would be this: true victory is not about being the best at what everyone else is doing. It's about being the only one doing what you do. Sun Tzu wrote, "Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting." In business terms, that means creating a position so unique, so valuable, and so hard to replicate that competition becomes irrelevant. Here's why this matters more now than ever. According to a 2024 McKinsey Global Institute study, companies that successfully differentiate themselves using AI see 2.3 times higher revenue growth than those competing on traditional metrics. But here's the kicker. Only 23% of businesses are actually doing this effectively. That gap, that's your opportunity. In the next 18 minutes, we're going to decode Sun Tzu's original strategy from the Lionel Giles translation, transform it into a practical AI-era playbook, give you the exact tools to implement it, starting today. By the end, you'll understand why the question isn't, how do I compete with AI? But rather, how do I use AI to compete when no one else is even looking? Let's go straight to Sun Tzu's words. This is from Lionel Giles's 1910 translation, still considered the most faithful to the original Chinese. Hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. And then he gives us the hierarchy of victory. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The next best is to prevent the junction of the enemy's forces. The next in order is to attack the enemy's army in the field. And the worst policy of all is to besiege walled cities. Now, let me translate this into 2024 terms. Level 1. Subdue without fighting. Create a category where you're the only player. This is what OpenAI did with ChatGPT. They didn't build a better search engine. They created conversational AI. Level 2. Prevent junction of forces. Disrupt the alliances and networks that give your competitors their power. Level 3. Attack in the field. Direct competition on features, price, and marketing. This works, but it's expensive and exhausting. Level 4. Besiege walled cities. Trying to beat entrenched players at their own game. Sun Tzu calls this the worst strategy. Here's the brutal question. Which level are you operating at right now? Are you trying to be a better copywriter than everyone else using the same tools? Level 4. Are you competing for the same clients with the same pitch deck? Or are you thinking, what if I combined my unique background with AI to solve a problem no one else is even addressing? The difference between these levels isn't just strategic, it's psychological. Level 4 thinking says, I need to work harder. Level 1 thinking says, I need to work differently. Now let's get practical. How do you actually execute Sun Tzu's attack by stratagem using AI tools? I'm going to give you 3 specific prompts, tested and refined, that you can use in ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini right now. Strategy 1. The Blue Ocean Identifier. This prompt helps you find your unique positioning by combining your existing skills in unexpected ways. You are a strategic positioning consultant, specializing in blue ocean strategy. I will provide my current skills and experiences. Your task. Identify 5 specific red ocean areas where these skills typically compete over saturated markets. Generate 5 blue ocean opportunities where this exact combination of skills could create a unique market position. For each blue ocean opportunity, explain the specific customer segment, why this combination is rare and valuable, how AI tools could amplify this advantage, potential revenue model, my skills and experience. Insert your actual skills. Format your response as a strategic analysis with clear, actionable recommendations. Expected outcome. You'll discover market opportunities you never considered. A marketing professional with a background in psychology and fitness might discover AI-powered behavioral coaching for remote teams, a space with almost no direct competition. Strategy 2. The Competitive Blind Spot Analyzer. This identifies what your competitors are missing, the spaces they're not even looking at. Act as a competitive intelligence analyst. I want to enter the insert your target market space. Analyze this market and provide the 3 most common approach services everyone is offering the red ocean. 5 underserved customer pain points that most providers ignore. For each pain point, suggest how AI tools could be used to address it uniquely. A specific positioning strategy that would make direct comparison with competitors irrelevant. Focus on gaps that exist because the market is fighting the wrong battle. Expected outcome. Clear insight into where the market is blind and how you can serve those neglected areas. Strategy 3. The AI Leverage Multiplier. This transforms your current work into something AI can amplify exponentially. I currently provide insert current service to insert current clients. Help me design a new service offering that. Uses AI to deliver 5 to 10 times more value than my current service. Creates a result my competitors cannot easily replicate. Allows me to charge premium prices while reducing my time investment. Includes specific AI tools and workflows I should implement. Provide a step-by-step implementation plan for the most promising option. Expected outcome. A clear path to transform your existing skills into an AI-amplified service that commands higher prices and delivers superior results. Here's why this works. According to a 2024 Harvard Business Review study, professionals who used AI to create unique service combinations saw an average 340% increase in project value within 6 months. The key insight? They weren't competing on efficiency, they were competing on outcomes that only their specific AI-human combination could deliver. Now let me be completely honest with you about what happens when you actually try to implement this. You're going to hit 3 psychological walls that destroy most people before they even get started. And if I don't prepare you for them, you'll likely become another statistic. Wall number 1. The comfort of familiar competition. Here's what behavioral economists have discovered: humans are psychologically wired to prefer familiar battles over unfamiliar victories. A 2024 study by the Behavioral Economics Lab at Duke University found that 71% of professionals, when shown a clear path to a less competitive market, still chose to remain in their current, oversaturated field. Why? Because the red ocean feels controllable. You know the rules. You understand the game. Moving to a blue ocean means uncertainty, and our brains interpret uncertainty as danger. When you run those prompts I gave you, you'll get exciting ideas, but then the voice in your head will say, "That sounds risky. Maybe I should just get better at what I'm already doing." That voice is not your friend. It's the voice that keeps 99% of people trapped in level 4 thinking. Wall number 2. The implementation gap. Even if you overcome the psychological resistance, there's a second brutal reality. The gap between strategic insight and consistent execution. A 2024 survey by MIT Sloan found that only 18% of professionals who identified a new strategic direction actually followed through with sustained action over 90 days. 18%. Why? Because strategy feels exciting in the moment, but execution requires daily discipline in the face of uncertainty. And in our dopamine-driven world of infinite distractions, sustained strategic action is one of the hardest things a human can do. You'll run the prompts, you'll feel inspired, you'll even start taking action. But then, life gets in the way. The urgent crowds out the important, and 3 months later, you're back where you started. Wall number 3. The loneliness of the blue ocean. Here's the cruelest irony. The moment you find a genuine blue ocean, a truly uncontested space, you face a new problem. You're alone there. There are no case studies to follow, no community of people doing the same thing, no social proof that you're on the right path. Your brain, which craves validation and certainty, will scream at you to go back to the familiar red ocean, or at least you can see other people fighting the same fights. Sun Tzu understood this when he wrote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." In this context, the enemy isn't your competitors. The enemy is your own psychology, the fear of uncertainty, the need for social proof, the pull of familiar patterns. I'm not telling you this to discourage you. I'm telling you because the people who succeed, the ones who actually create blue oceans and win without fighting, they all faced these same obstacles. They overcame them not because they were braver or smarter, but because they expected the resistance. So how do you push through those walls? How do you actually start winning without fighting? Starting today, I'm going to give you 3 specific actions. Not someday actions, not when you feel ready actions. Actions you can take in the next 24 hours. Action 1. The 15-minute reality check. Within the next 24 hours, set a timer for 15 minutes. Open ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. Copy the blue ocean identifier prompt from this video. Fill in your actual skills. Not the skills you wish you had, but the ones you actually possess right now. Run it. Read the output carefully. Write down the one opportunity that surprises you most. The one that makes you think, I never considered that combination. That's it. 15 minutes. One surprising insight written down. Why this matters. Sun Tzu says, "The general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle is fought." Your 15-minute AI session is your temple. It's where you make calculations before the battle begins. Action 2. The level audit. For the next 7 days, every time you make a significant decision about your work, ask yourself, which of Sun Tzu's 4 levels am I operating at? Am I trying to create a new category? Level 1. Do more. Am I disrupting existing power structures? Level 2. Do more. Am I competing directly on features? Level 3. Acceptable but expensive. Am I trying to beat entrenched players at their own game? Level 4. Stop immediately. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to see clearly where your energy is going. Awareness is the first weapon in Sun Tzu's arsenal. Action 3. The 1-week experiment. Choose the most promising blue ocean opportunity from Action 1. This week, not next month, this week, do one small experiment to test it. Write one LinkedIn post about this new angle. Send one email to a potential client in this space. Create one piece of content that positions you in this new category. The goal isn't to launch a business. The goal is to test the waters of your blue ocean and see how it feels to operate where there's no competition. Here's what I predict will happen. You'll feel a mix of excitement and terror. That's exactly right. As Sun Tzu understood, the path to victory often feels uncomfortable, precisely because most people won't walk it. The ultimate test. 6 months from now, I want you to be able to say this: I don't compete with AI. I don't compete with the crowd. I've created a space where what I do is so unique, so valuable, and so aligned with my strengths that competition has become irrelevant. That's what Sun Tzu meant by supreme excellence. That's what winning without fighting looks like in the AI era. If this video gave you even one actionable insight, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this content is worth sharing, which means more people get access to these strategies. Subscribe if you haven't already, because next week we're diving into Chapter 4, Tactical Dispositions, where Sun Tzu reveals the secret of becoming invincible before you ever think about defeating anyone else. In the AI age, this translates to building systems that make you anti-fragile to technological disruption. Until then, remember, the goal isn't to fight harder. The goal is to make fighting unnecessary. Now go make your calculations in the temple.